It's the NFL on EA Sports. And we'll see the Bears' sure-handed wide receiver. He starts play fourth in the NFL in receiving yardage. It's the Bears and the Saints on Sunday night.
Well, the good news is that the winds aren't as violent as they were yesterday in Chicago, but it's still pretty darn cold. To be expected, I guess, for December football at Soldier Field. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the New Orleans Saints and the Chicago Bears. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Two teams trying to stake their claim to postseason football. Week 14 of the NFL is underway. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And not a very good return at all, as he won't even get this back to the 15. So here are the Bears banked up to start their initial drive. And a look at a guy, definitely got a little razzle-dazzle to him. Can do it with his arm or his legs. Their mobile QB.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
One touchdown, one pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, and that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe leans on a few other parts of the offense, and hopefully springs a receiver or two free.
He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play at second down. And brought down, but not before they're able to get it up to the 25. It's a pickup of 10 and a Bears first down.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers. They're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. On second down, it's Richardson to throw it. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up third down.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Eric Stokes. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. So a big defensive play there on the opening drive, no less, as they make the interception and bring it back for the score.
And I think that's a signal for how this defense wants to play. They want to be disruptive, and you know they're going to take some chances.
Well, sometimes it can burn you, but right there, it paid off. Evan McPherson now for the PAT. And it's good as the Saints have a 7-0 lead. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their second drive of the game. And, Charles, you look at these two teams, these are those kind of litmus test games in the second half of the season that if you're a coach or a player, you can either really look forward to them or really dread them, depending on your point of view.
And if you're dreading them, you're not going to go very far in the playoffs. You need to look forward to these kind of games because here we've got two division leaders, both real contenders for the NFC title. And you're right, you love having easy games on your schedule, but you need some games like this to toughen you up a bit and ensure that you're ready for the shock of playoff football.
They run the option here on 1st and 10. And he'll be dropped at the 36. It's a good gain of 18 on a play that originated back at the 18. And this, I mean, it's certainly something to watch out for. He is not afraid to call his own number on plays like that. And here he takes it for good yardage.
And we know this defense prepared all week for this, but sometimes when you see it in person, it's a whole different ball game. And all that preparation, it goes right out the window.
From the gun, he'll hand this off. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. This defense, Charles, really played well in that win a week ago.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game.
Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And they move this all the way down to the 9. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
Boy, how about the speed with which this offense can get down the field? It's taking them no time at all to get down here. And now they're set up with a 1st and goal.
From the shotgun, Richardson. Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. A great play there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Bears are an extra point away from evening this one up. On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7. 5 plays there on that drive. And the end result is a Bears touchdown. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. And they'll be led out by their 3rd-year quarterback.
And if you go by the numbers, he's had a Pro Bowl-type season. And maybe that's even selling him a little bit short. He's the NFL leader in touchdown passes to this point in the year. And with the end of the season not too far away, he's got his guys playing at a very high level.
Throwing on 1st down, Dillon. And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in.
Well, they certainly came out firing in this one, and while that one was incomplete, I can't imagine that'll be the last shot that they take in this game.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. He's got a man, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. 2nd down. The Saints at 11-1 now on the year. And I tell you, it has been a few months now since they've tasted defeat, and they are without question the hottest team in football.
And I'm really not sure who's going to beat them right now because, to me, they have to be the favorites to go all the way because they're not just beating teams, they're dominating them. It's been fun to watch them play, not just in their winning, but how they're getting it done.
Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. The Saints 1st down there on a gain of 11. Off play action. Dillon. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. They'll wind up losing 3 there on the sack. Good pressure, and it's second down. Just not much a quarterback can do there, CD. The pressure was in his face almost instantaneously. Led to a very quick sack. But following the sack, they'll try to change their fortune here on 2nd and 13. Looking to throw. Dillon. There goes a deep ball. End zone. And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. And that looked almost to be a case of, quarterback saying, hey, I'm going to throw this as far as I can and hope you run under it. Mission accomplished.
And we knew that this offense was going to try and put pressure on the secondary. That was something they talked about with us. They knew that they had an advantage, pressed it, and there you go. Big play for a touchdown on their very first possession.
And the final number of the next-gen stats, that ball traveling a full 59 yards through the air. And McPherson on for the extra point. It's up and good, and it's 14-7 now here in the first quarter. A drive that time of 6 plays, and it ends with a touchdown for New Orleans. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And they had the touchdown during the last drive, and I'm guessing that you like the balance they had on that last drive.
And I loved it. Forget liking it. Absolutely love what they were doing, because to be ahead of a defense that much, where every play call you have, run or pass, is working pretty well for you.
Makes you look like a genius.
It really does. It also lets you know that your preparation was pretty good, and now the defense has to do all the adjusting.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Richardson out of the shotgun. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Richardson on 3rd and short. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
That was a nice catch, and not by the guy you thought it was going to be. How about the defender turning into an offensive player as soon as the ball hits his hands, and off he goes, off to the races, and into the end zone.
McPherson now for the extra point. It's good, and it is now 21-7. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Good job over there, baby. I see y'all. Good job over there, baby.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. Fields it right around the goal line. And he's going to be out of bounds on the return. Not a great return. They'll start back around the 17. But now the Bears coming out as they get ready. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick 6, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick 6 and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. A drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
And they'll run on the inside handoff. And he will have the Bears first down, as that'll be a pickup of about 5 as they convert on 3rd and inches.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
A pair of first downs gives him a 1st and 10 up at the 44. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. No gain on the play there. Second down.
Second and 10 at the 43-yard line.
Hands it off out of the gun. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 74 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries. A pretty wild first quarter. 21-7, our score. Back in Chicago. Second quarter, it's the Bears in possession, as they've got it with a 1st and 10. From the gun, they'll try to run it to the 27-yard line.
Oh, that's a real nice job there. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
And they'll be in search of 6 yards here on 3rd down. This is now the 9th play of the drive. On 3rd down, here's Richardson. And this one is incomplete. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks.
Now the holder's going to keep it. He's going to try to run for it. They pass up the 3, fake it. It doesn't work. And the Saints will have the football back. Well, clearly that was a design play. I just don't know that it was the right design. Hey, your holder, to have him pick it up and kind of be the power guy trying to run through the middle, everything has to go right for that to work.
You mean you weren't relying on just great blocking to get him through? You kind of think maybe he can help make his own way if he's an actual running back instead of the holder? Yeah, I thought the same thing.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50.
A gain of 22 yards. And the Saints first down.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And this is incomplete. Oh, it looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in.
The offense schemed going 5 wide, trying to create a chance for the big shot, and they took it. If he comes down with that one, that's a huge offensive swing. But credit the defense with a nice play, knocking that one away.
And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. On third down, Dillon. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead him to fourth down.
And we all know how talented this guy is who's calling the signals for him, but even the best in the game, they can struggle against a good, cohesive zone coverage. Can't find a gap in the secondary quick enough, and he ends up taking a sack.
They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in. On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Now we're going to get a stoppage. Appears to be an injured Bear on the field. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up third down. Tall task ahead of him here, needing a full 15 yards to move the chains. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now? At about the 18-yard line, it looks like. The New Orleans offense set to take over. And you figure this should be a healthy, arrested, a focused unit, and they're working on a good winning streak. They had the week off last week. This is really a team, Charles, that should be in top 4.
I would agree absolutely with that. What coaches worry about, what organizations worry about, though, is overconfidence. They've been playing so well, and now they've got that extra time off. And we've seen teams come back off the open week and come out flat. So what a lot of good coaches do is they kind of game plan for that with their teams. On defense, they may blitz more in the beginning to get them going. On offense, they may go more up-tempo. Anything to get them out of that lethargy right at the beginning.
And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
This defense has passed its first 2 tests by forcing back-to-back incompletions. They know there's probably another throw coming on 3rd down. Let's see if they decide to force the issue by sending people on a blitz.
And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Derek Stingley picks it. So really the first speed bump that this offense has encountered, they've had the rule of the roost here in this first half, but now slowed up just a bit by the interception.
And there's a chance that that's a wake-up call for them because you don't want to go on autopilot too early. That team on defense is capable of making some plays similar to the one they made right there.
Oh, and that one well designed as he'll take this down to the 30-yard line. 85 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside. And so many times defenses say, okay, we got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. And here's a handoff out of the gun. Able to slither by. And he's brought down, but not before a gain of 13, down to the 13. 1st and 10 in the red zone. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. First and 10, it's Richardson. That's complete right around the 8. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it's second down.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
From the gun, he'll hand this off. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have...
And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. The kick by Elliott is good. And that will get the disadvantage now back down to 11. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach turned his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. As the offense comes out here, Charles, maybe perhaps a bit more of a focus on the run game for this drive after tossing an interception on the previous one?
I think that's a good way to look at it and a good way to think about it, but maybe they get...
He's got a man, complete! And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35. A big-time play there for New Orleans. 41 yards. On 1st and 10, Dillon. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. To throw again, Dillon. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. They'll look to throw again. And he's got his man, Marquise Brown. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. A 12-yard touchdown grab as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead.
He was able to move around and found some vision to throw the football. And how about how he ended it? Boy, he had some zip on that throw.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt to have an arm like that. Results in the touchdown here. Great play offensively. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And the lead is up to 18 now. That time, 75-yard drive, 5 plays. And it all culminates in a Saints touchdown. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. Now, he's having himself a little bit of a banner game. His team right now, though, losing.
Needs a little bit of help, and I kind of equate it to a basketball game where you have the big score. And sometimes your strategy is, okay, he can go ahead and have all of his points. Let's hold down everyone else, and that's the way you win the game. And right now, he needs everyone else to start scoring, quote-unquote, as he's been.
Yeah, and he's hoping to keep it close so maybe they can keep it on the ground, not start to go through the air as much.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
There, Richardson back to throw it. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. On 1st down, Richardson. And for the 3rd time here in this half. It's intercepted. Picked off by Eric Stokes. Week after week, we're seeing plays like this from him, and I think he's in line. We've discussed it before for NFL Defensive Player of the Year.
And a big reason why, I think, is because of his ball skills. And that's something that, for guys of his position, they've talked about it for years. They've done the drills. But they've really increased it in recent seasons because of the offense have gotten so good. He knows how to take the ball away. That is huge for a defender.
On first down, Dillon. And he will find his big tight end over the middle. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on first and goal. Oh, they're going to run a little pop pass here. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's second and goal. Back to throw again. And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great effort there as the first half is winding down. And the Saints will extend their lead here just before halftime.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there, unable to do so. That makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And a rout is on here in this first half. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Takes it at the 7. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line.
At their own 20-yard line.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
Up at the 29 now, they'll head to the line, 2nd and a yard. Richardson now on 2nd down. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the 2nd down play, they burn the timeout, making him sweat out the final few ticks here in the 2nd quarter. Not wanting to risk another sack, they'll play it safe with a run. And he'll be stopped short of the first down as they rally to tackle him at about the 28. So we have reached halftime with the visiting Saints out on top as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll get started out in Texas, NRG Stadium in Houston, where it was the visiting Colts who were able to pick up the road victory. Jalen Hurts, 4 touchdown passes in the victory. From there, we're off to check out another game. And they were losers in that one to the visiting Green Bay Packers. Rondale Moore, well over 100 yards with 2 touchdown catches to boot. And lastly, Monday Night Football has a good one lined up between the Cleveland Browns and the Cincinnati Bengals. On now to a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Saints. And it's been the passing game that's been the story. They have feasted on the secondary to the tune of 200-plus yards already through 2 quarters. Meanwhile, for the Bears, we check on their numbers on the ground in the first half, as they know they'll need to be better to overcome this halftime deficit. Final adjustments being made for the second half. Whether they'll amount to much in a game that's already pretty well decided, well, that's another question. Nevertheless, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, thanks. Yeah, that's something to consider. Are we in for more one-way traffic here in the second half? It has not been a competitive game to this point.
Out comes the Saints offensive unit and the NFC playoff race. Let's have a look at it.
And for the moment, they're sitting pretty in possession of that number 2 seed. But as we know, it often happens, this is all still subject to change.
You're so right about that. But even though the math isn't there yet, I think it's going to take new math for them not to make the playoffs. They're almost certainly going to be in the tournament and certainly going to be a dangerous team if you have to play against them.
Throwing on first down. Dillon, he's going to sling this deep downfield. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made.
And he's going to be forced out of bounds inside the 5-yard line.
A big-time play there for New Orleans. And even 50 yards.
Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver.
And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. Again, he'll drop to throw. And he's got him. Touchdown, Saints. A great play there with his second touchdown of the night.
And the Saints take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. McPherson on for the point after.
And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. The drive summary, 4 plays, 75 yards. And it ends with a touchdown for New Orleans.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. Taking it about the 1.
And he's going to be out of bounds on the return. Not a great return. They'll start back around the 17. So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the second half.
CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down. Richardson shotgun on third down.
And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free. And it brings up fourth down. Here comes the Bears punter now, standing just about on his own goal line. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Fielded at the 20. 62 yards on the punt that time. Wow. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. He has been on his A game. We're in the third quarter. He's already in search of touchdown pass number 5.
He's played so well that it's hard for me to take my eyes off of him, even when he's not on the field. I keep finding my eyes finding him on the bench in between series, wondering what
He's got a man, complete. Touchdown, New Orleans. A big play there with his third touchdown and 18th on the year.
And the Saints are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that, truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. The Chicago offense set to get started. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. A win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles. But I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Third and long for Richardson. Targeting Pitts on the out route, and he's got it complete. And he'll be out of bounds right around the 20. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that'll bring up fourth down. Here comes the Bears punter now as he's on to kick it away. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. It's taken to the 26. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And they will take over first and 10. A good starting spot for the Saints as they come up first and 10 at their own 44. Throwing to start the drive. Dillon, he's going to air one out. And this is caught inside the 5. Touchdown. A great effort there. 56 yards. And the Saints get another third quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. And let's count them up now. 1, 2, 3, 4 touchdown receptions for him in this game.
And just one shy of the NFL record. What a great performance. Going up and catching the football, creating space, and finding the end zone. That's what it's all about.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not where they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
You got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets this football out shy of the 30 to the 29.
First and 10 at the 29-yard line.
First and 10, Richardson looks to throw it. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. That'll go for a gain of 7, and it'll be second down.
A 7-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 3 at the 36-yard line.
And they'll run on the inside handoff. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. Now Richardson. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Eric Stokes. I think it's safe to say this is a game he's not going to forget anytime soon, Charles. 3 interceptions.
It's rare that we see 3 interceptions by one team, let alone by an individual. And I think that after the second one, he's probably telling his teammates, any ball that's in the air, it's going to be mine. And that turned out to be true.
The Saints coming out now to take the field. Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
Gets around him, and he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. And quickly they get to the line. They go play action here on first down. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. The sack recorded. It's a loss of 5, and now it's second down. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. They'll bring a tight end in motion left. Throwing on third and long. Dillon. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll only get this to the 47. He needed a few more yards to pick up the first. It'll be a gain of 12, but it will also lead to fourth down. They'll try and throw for it here. He'll get that complete to Alberto. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a first down. Final minute now of the third quarter. On first and 10, Dillon. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down. Glad you're with us from Soldier Field in Chicago. Third quarter here, 2nd and 10. On second down, it's Walker. And he takes it down to the 40 with a pickup of 4.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable third down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Give him 22 there on the third down conversion.
Now that's all about making something happen as a quarterback, because instead of forcing something on third down, how about him buying some time outside of the pocket, waiting for someone to come open, and when he did, he put it on him for a big play and a first down.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss it? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
Now, meanwhile, a final play here is incomplete, and that's going to take us to the end of the third quarter of play. Back now at Soldier Field. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Now flags will come in. And I think this is against the Saints up front. So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit. This third down just got even more difficult. 3rd down and 15 after the false start. Back to throw. Dillon. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Partner, in the sportsmanship handbook, there's something to be said for calling the dogs off in a blowout. But these defenders, they also know this is the NFL, and it's their job to stop them, whether they're in the game or they're down by a handful of touchdowns.
On 4th down, Dillon. And this is incomplete. Oh, he looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play. but he could not pull it in. So they were really trying to put the nail in the coffin there already with this lead here in the fourth, but they didn't get it.
Guaranteed it's not going to be a fun handshake in the postgame, right? You just know that there's going to be some bad blood there. And
Richardson under pressure, and down he goes. Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play.
But one thing I do know, these guys on defense, they don't want this game to end. They're winning by multiple touchdowns. They've shut down the opposing quarterback in a big way, and they're still...
And my goodness, another interception. Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but...
And he'll score. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great play there with touchdown number 20 on the year. And the Saints add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. And McPherson on for the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Well, they got the ball in great field position. One play later, boom, end zone. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. From the 6. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And you see a lot of frustrated faces as they are inching closer to a 4th straight loss. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. Charles, are you kidding me? 4 interceptions? I mean, that's a good season for a lot of defensive backs.
A lot of reason to get voted into the Pro Bowl. When you have 4 in one game, I mean, talk about a campaign slogan, right? I got 4.
And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great effort there. 28 yards. And the Saints stretch this 4th quarter lead even further, and they are closing in on win number 12 of the season. McPherson now for the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. A nice tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position, and only one play to score it. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. From the 6. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Now the Bears offense ready to take over again. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
5 yards remain on 2nd down. 2nd down, here's Richardson. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. The Bears on 3rd down. They've converted just twice and have had plenty of opportunities. This will be 3rd and 5. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
And now the Saints get set to trot out there. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I both enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones. And it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it #1 for what we've seen this season.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete. He'll try again with the arm here on second down. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. Gain there at 21 yards. On first down, Dillon. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Throwing again, Dillon. And this one incomplete. Oh, he couldn't hang on to it in the end zone, and that's one that'll haunt you. And now it brings up 3rd down. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And this is caught at the 8. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. And the offense moving quickly to the line. Touchdown, Saints. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Saints add another 6 points to what's going to be a blowout victory. When coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back through the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
This one fielded at the 5. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. The Bears offense out there set and ready to go. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
On second down, it's Richardson to throw it. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. Now a timeout here, at least for the moment. Looks like one of the Saints is injured, shaken up on that last play. Now the big play pushes him all the way out to the 40 now for first down. 1st and 10. Here's Richardson with it. And now here is another interception. And the Saints are going to take possession of the football. Yet another mistake after the interception there. And, gosh, you look up at the scoreboard, they just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys.
And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. From 13 yards out. And the Saints take the forced turnover on defense and convert it into 6 points. They seemingly just continue to score at will. And as great as it's been for the offense, you got to feel for that defense down there.
I love how you use the word will, because both teams came into the game with the will to win. But one team has obviously imposed its will on the other and broken them. Because what we're seeing right now, wow, that's a defense that's in tatters after what they faced in this ball game.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. From the 6. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. 1st and 10, it's Richardson. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. They've got it 1st and goal as they look to punch in a late score. Here's Richardson to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Back to the air with Richardson. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it.
Elliott on for the extra point. And they make the score a little bit more respectable here in our final quarter of play. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would have,
He's got a man complete. A big-time play there for New Orleans. 54 yards. That one looks like he'll throw here. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down. Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. But not much defensive resistance on that drive. And really, Charles, the way this offense has been humming, they haven't faced much defensive resistance the entire game.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that one team, their defense did not wake up and make it to the stadium for this one. There may be some major changes on that side of the ball when we see them the next time out.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. From the 6. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. The Chicago offense set to get started. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, They've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Now Richardson back to throw it.
And he comes back with one complete. He's got this almost to the 40 before going out. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Richardson to the air on first down.
Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
Again, it's Richardson.
And his throw here's incomplete.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
Richardson looking to throw.
And this time he's got the hookup. It's complete. Now a 2nd timeout called for by the defense. That'll leave him with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. 2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10.
On first down, Richardson.
Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds.
2nd and 2. Now it's Richardson.
He's got a man. It's his tight end. That's complete. Now the Saints will use their 3rd and final timeout. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside.
Richardson looking to throw this.
Escaping the pressure right. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
One last shot for Richardson.
And this is going to be caught. So an offensive final score, not the outcome, but it is a late touchdown here on the game's final play. Doesn't affect the outcome, but hey, nice job there to put it in the end zone for the final play.
Could it affect other things? Sometimes these types of scores are ones that we don't consider big at the time. Then later on we find out maybe that was a tiebreaker.
Yeah.
Or, of course, in fantasy football world, these points mean a lot
there. Elliott good on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Well, on the one side, if you try to take away something positive from this game, they played to the final whistle, getting the touchdown there on the last play. But still, all for naught, really.
Yeah, I'd say give them points for positivity. I like that. That part is good. But I often wonder, when the game is settled and the clock is run out, do we really need to kick the extra point?
Oh, yeah. It's silly. It's silly.
It doesn't make any sense to me. I know that people have explained before, well, you got to play it all the way through. Come on, this thing was done.
So for New Orleans, the win moves them to 12-1 now on the year.
And they will be at home for one next week against the Las Vegas Raiders.
Meanwhile, for the Bears, you wonder what this will